Hello and welcome to this video on control pad optimal circularity settings and calibrations. I've had to re-record the audio because having the control pad plugged in and doing it that way just gives you fuzz. It doesn't do anything. Something to do with the OTG connection, I think. Anyway, this control pad is a DualShock 4 and this app is called driftguard and it's the paid version. It allows you to permanently calibrate. This is just a test of a pad that I previously calibrated on the circularity, consistency, the overshoot, what it all equals. And I think what I'm doing here is I'm just going to do a range calibration without moving the sticks to give you the full pot range number, which I established was 21.88%. That's a raw digital pot range. That's not the range of an open stick tested in a control pad with no case enclosure. It's about the same as it goes anyway. Right, there we go. 21.88. You don't want your control pad at 0% average error, so it's completely circular, because on games like Rocket League, you won't be able to pull off some of your diagonal moves because there's no overshoot in the diagonals for left, right, up and down move sets that require a more open pot. Half of 21.88 is 10.94%, which is the optimal standard factory calibration of your analog sticks, and half of that again is 5.47. You do not want to see 5.47, and that would be extremely tight, and it will give you a slow outer boundary for turning and accelerations, and it becomes more likely that you will undershoot that circle. driftguard, the app I'm using, has a standard calibration value of 6.66%. And I think that is what I am trying to show right here. 6.66% is driftguard's natural calibration value, and I'm going to say that's the soft calibration because I'm using silicone sleeves on the analog sticks for anti-wear protection, so it's a rough estimation, and the sleeves themselves equate to a value of that same number, so 6.66 twice, which is roughly 13.32 in a theoretical maximum range, but you can get a little bit more out of it because everyone can put more or less pressure on the stick tilt than others. Right, yep, this is just winding it up to about the 6.66, which was a soft rotation, which is what I calibrated it to. So anything like 6.66, 8.88, 10.94, and then up to like a maximum boundary of 13.32 is what you want to see on your circularity, your average error circularity, but it has to be consistent. What did I do there? Oh, I just recalibrated the centers because this control pad was calibrated using Xbox One Elite Series 2 sticks with the screw pot core and the tension adjustment on them. But the mistake with using those is that Xbox's standard Deadspot size is 20%, I think, on Windows as a program. So it's quite a bit, so it's 10% more than the PlayStation 4 standard calibrations. And what have I established in the past? Yes, you do not want to see a stick dead spot any higher than 9020. If it's 9804, you will get drift in Rage 2 on the car camera. And that's right, 9020 is like just over 9%. But every game as baseline is slightly different. Some of them have an inbuilt dead spot that doesn't use the pad standards. It gets confusing. Can get confusing. And some where the in-car sensitivity will not be linked to your first-person run-and-gun sensitivity, so it don't matter what you do with your sensitivity ranges, which is another gripe of that game, Rage 2. But for extremely sensitive games, I used to use Battlefield 1 to test my controller's performance, because the tank mission in that is extremely sensitive. It will detect everything. I'm sorry I can't remember the original audio when I was doing this, but I haven't missed anything. Yeah, 6.66 is driftguard, the paid driftguard apps standard calibration, and then that's softly calibrated to a silicon sleeve. And right here in the video, my controller lost its connection, its wired connection to the phone, because I moved the lead. You don't want to be doing that when you go onto a permanent. You want to be on a stable surface. And the silicon sleeve has a rough value of about 6.66, and I calibrated this pad softly to that sleeve, and then when you do a hard press you can get it back over that 10.94%, which is what you want to be able to do to pull off all your movesets. And what's this done now? It's just gone round again. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Anything I've missed, well, I'll just put all of this in the description as best I can. Your circularity range and the Deadspot size. And it goes for Dualsenses as well, even though they use different value ohms resistance primary potentiometers. They are, what are they? 2,300, 2.3K. 2.3K is the standard in the Dualsense, and 10K is the standard in the DualShock 4. Thanks for watching.